Before I get this number I'm at list for, and I'm gonna be playing some Satisfactory. So I came over here to check on what the actual production rate is because we need this up to 900. These both can only do 120, and that goes up to, I think, 4. If we max it out, it's 300 per. Which means that we need like 3 of them in order to actually get the power out. Or not the power out, but like the actual like production out of it. But at the opposing end of it, well, yes, that's true. We could also use this as the limiter to actually define where we want the iron to start off from. So if we have the spare 300 from the production coming in as the actual like point and measure, that's something that's actually quite useful. We could also, I think, use sloops here. I don't think so, though. Yeah, no. So, technically, that could be utilized. Either way, though, the current thing that we gotta work on is the iron transport. And also a couple other things. For instance, this back here needs to get changed out. It's not that bad to change it out, but it is something that I do need to set up to have that functionable. Because this all is very much in the way. Also, is my thing set up? Misconfigured. I do want to actually check up on Kick. Make sure that I am the one streaming right now, because I actively speaking don't like to make sure that ever so often. Yeah. What's the number one? Level up by watching streams and choke. Okay. I suck at watching streams. I suck at doing streams. I'm not gonna sit down and pretend like that's a relevant number to me. I don't like streams enough to be leveled up and such. That doesn't mean that I don't like appreciate those who do, but I'm just not one of those people. Like, there are a few streamers that I like watching, but I don't watch too many of them. I am more of the recorded content community. Stuck in my old ways. Bound by a generation I was never I will never amount to. Mainly because I don't like streaming, and most of those dudes actually just moved on with their day. And they're like, eh, whatever. Actually, I probably shouldn't sit down and get over there. But yeah, there's a secret tunnel over here. I could have used it for the small thing, but I don't think it had enough space. So we've got this structure to try and build it off of. I could just try and like sync them up to like be pointing back there. So like production mark to. I could also try and sync them to that point. But I think back there's got a lot more ground to it. There we go. Going to fill her up. Fill her up. I think that's 120. No, that's not 120. That's 120. Is that the required amount? I think that's the required amount. Right there. Math board, just check. Oh no, we need 240 copper. Alright, so if we try and sync this to where it's both of them at the same time, then we could try and get this to make sense. I'm gonna actually do this because of that right there. That right there. There we go. Okay. Seems good. There we go. So, yeah, it seems like it'll actually work pretty well. So, that's what I said the last few times, but whatever. Is that looking good? There we go. I think that'll be sufficient. And I think that'll be sufficient. So that way, we just pull it out to this direction, and then... yeah. Try and figure out what to do after that. So logistics-wise, this is the part that's just going to be annoying right now, because I don't really have the best of plans to try and figure this out. Really, I just need this space to get it done. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna try and get... I think that's about it. Is that 6? Invalid conveyor shape. Yeah, it's predictable. So, I've got to figure out how to do this twice. So, So, if I do this one, then do the straight. I could also just try and dedicate it straight to this, and then have that solved. And then I just take this one from back here and just... yeah. Then all I need is to figure out how to get this all nice and set up. One copper, one not copper. So how about we just say back copper, top iron. So that's two different words that had no relevance. Is the Mach 2 like gonna do it? That's 120 per. This is splitting up to 4 different levels of 60. I think it'll do fine for the in-betweens, but I do feel like an upgrade may be warranted here. Logistics Mach 3 will probably do a lot better, but you know, let's do Mach 3. Of course I missed. Second. Alright. So... are these Mach 3? They're Mach 3. Anything else? Nothing I can see. Awesome. Also, probably want to set these power things up already, because that's probably just wise. Let's do... there we go. A nice little cross over. And then this one, we'll just do that with it, and then put a Merc 1 in between them, just to give an outlet, just in case something needs to be powered later on. It'll just have a nice little thingamabob to get that done. So... Mark 1 power pole. I need is power up here, and then I can actively speak and sit down and deal with that. But I think that I should actually check up on max con first. Max consumption 240. Versus if all these were 100, which, or whatever, I don't know. I don't know enough to sit down and actively speak and break down what the actual efficiency increase or decrease would be for all this. All I know is that it's supposed to be where you build more buildings to have more power efficiency, less buildings for capacity. Because the capacity is something that, actively speaking, either you have the capacity of the space or the capacity of the power. That's about it. But now I gotta figure out how to get this part done. Fun part. Now I gotta figure out how to do that. Not the hardest thing in the world, but you know. I could be a bit of a bore. To that, to that. And now we've got this. Seems like it should be perfectly fine, but whatever. So let's go that iron, outer iron, inner copper. Seems perfectly fine. Okay, so how do I get this handled? Because there we go. Right through belt. Yeah, I can do that. There we go. That is probably the most unfortunately complicated track that I'm going to be having to deal with for a while. There we go. So now we can actually chop out of this very directly, and it should be fully functional. So we've got 3s. I'm going to say that's probably a pretty good start. There we go. That's 3. That's more than 3 by severe margin. That probably would have been wiser to actually keep the one that's further out, so whatever. I'm only transporting a small portion that far. Why did I forget that? Yeah. It should be evenly spaced between each of the 3. That means that each 6 portion is now actually properly loaded. All I need to do is take these guys and actually transfer them over to the other line because the other line's going further out. Seems a little bit ridiculous. Whee! Okay, so let's try and take this in this direction. Remember, straighten it out, and that's my stop for this guy. I feel like I've done the math wrong, no matter what I do. Must snap to wall or ceiling. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's see about that. But yeah, that's perfectly fine counted. Top one goes to the outside, so I'm gonna try and maintain that. That will take doing this though. That allows for this though. Ooh. There we go, that's a little bit more natural. Spaghetti Yeah, I don't know how much I would call it spaghetti, but I can see where you're coming from if you say it down and say that, but at some point, I mean, that's kind of why I'm sticking it underneath, isn't it? I can very quickly transform this bottom part into a subfloor that I can then use for the hiding of such spaghetti. I think that with a little bit of patience, I could actually get this pretty good. So these two lines pull up further, and then those two lines go well beyond. So, I mean, that is something else that I could try and do to try and replace a little bit. Because I'm in the way. Well, that does invert what I just did as far as this back here goes, so gonna have to undo that. Because, you know, things can't just be simple sometimes. Sometimes you gotta sit down and have this whole genius idea halfway through the build. And as far as this goes, I don't know how much it's gonna be all that different, but shakers, snipers. Gonna try and give it its distance. So this one goes closer. This one goes farther. Is it blocking? No, but it definitely feels like it wants to. So, conveyor ceiling mount, we're just gonna go ahead and figure this out. This way. That way it'll actually just... Okay, so top one goes here. There we go. Heck. There we go. A little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. It would seem that because I built it off of a wall, it's not the actual flipping global grid, so I'm going to go ahead and delete this because that's just useful to do when it comes down to something like that. Oh yeah, there's the spacer. That equaled it to this thing. Anyway, so that's all handled. It definitely wants to be on top of the foundation, I'll tell you that much. Speaking of, forgot to refill the turbo fuel before I finished it off last time, so refilling turbo fuel. Oh no, whatever will I do? And misconfigured. Stupid bitrate thing will pop. Just because I've got a fancy, stinking fancy thing doesn't mean that I have to sit down and pay for it. Ah! I'm joking. I do wish it told me what it was misconfigured, because like, it's not something that's, like, extensively panic-inducing. Like, it's not like, oh no, whatever will I be? I'm going to, like, disappear or something like that. It's just that, like, I would like to know what is causing the problem so that I can fix it, because usually you have, like, a notification set up because there's a problem, and problems usually would be, like, things that have consequences. Even if I don't see those consequences, like, still like to somewhat help out. I don't like streaming, but I don't hate, like, people who stream. Like, I don't want to be the reason that the, like, system gets shut down for a hot minute, like. Okay, so, checking around the place, definitely can't actually continue with this substructure. Although, getting a little bit hot and fast there. Sorry. So the logistics layer is coming out pretty good. Okay. Nah. I probably should just go with asphalt for all this, so that's simpler, but it is a steel factory, so I mean, be kind of silly not to use steel. Same thing over here. Got a little bit too hot and fast there again. So that means that now I've got a little bit more freedom with the logistics layer, and also I can get a little bit. I mean, I could try and slip it out a little bit to fit in with this structure, but also I could just do a little. Where is it? Yeah, to layer land. Yeah. Boom. Boom. Problem solved. A little bit thicker than it was prior, but whatever. Not exactly the end of the world. Now this is the part where it's kind of sad, because now I gotta sit down and figure out... Well, no, it's not that bad. In fact, it's probably better for this. Logistics, conveyor hole. Also due to the fact that it is how it is, this would make more sense. So... First off, Mach 4. Second off, reverse input, so that's actually an input instead of an output. Lastly, register multiple complaints. Mark 4s, please. There we go. That's the copper. That's the iron. That's the big boy. So, take this, plug it. Take this, plug it. No complications. Just add some sticky metal to the outside, and we're golden. Oh, look, metal. All I need to do that so that logistics layer can hook into another logistics layer that can hook into another logistics layer that can hook into another logistics layer. This adds direct input that can actively be connected to the actual structure. On for some nasty shenanigans. There we go. This whole superstructure is set up for that aspect. So now I just gotta set this point up here, which is kind of important. That one, that one. All right. All right. And we're going to do this for the epsilon time. Gonna be honest, that's yeah, no. There we go. That keeps it off of the stinking ground. Solves the problem. Keeps it off the stinking ground, it solves the problem. Stinking. And that should also do right there. Stop! Yikers, snipers. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna I can handle this way. So work from reverse. That way, it's actually a little bit better. Off the ground, and then I can do that. Okay. Now that's all lined up, hooked up, set up. Should be all nice and ready. Checking the lines. The lines look good. Very good, very good. These are all Mach 3s. Each one can handle its load that it is expected for. Now then, power. Power needs to be set up, so go ahead and hook up at this point. And at that point, power. Mark II outlet. There we go. Power up. Power down. Should be a straight line, so nobody can tell that's actively speaking going to the ground until you actually look from up to down, at which point it's a direct connection and it'll make sense. All I need is a connection from up to down again, so I guess I could try doing that, but that seems kind of stupid. Usually there are connections between floors. Right now there isn't, so let's work on that. And then that connection can be the structure for which this continues. So let's get on the routes with all of that. That seems like a pretty open space for connection right there. I just thought about it. Okay, so where is a good space for it? So I'm gonna go ahead and might be wise to just do that, but for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. That was stupid. So I'm going to need to rework that. So snaps to personal elevator. Personal elevator. There we go. So So by using the personal elevator, I can hook up power from below to the above. There we go. What we got there? Does that look good? There we go. Yeah, that right there would be the reason to sit down and try and move the railing out a little bit more. So what I can do here, this guy. So this is the power for the lights, this is the power for the power. I want the power for the power. It's got to be very specific. Can't just be any kind of power line. I have to think and pick one specific one. That has to be like the thing for the thing. The thing for the thing. Anyways, transport back down, elevator 4-stop. Call for elevator. Nice powered up. so now I can go over here without having to go through the outside. And also, if I sat down, hit control, went for a door, and then the rest of these got to be walls. That shouldn't be any kind of trouble up here, but that should enable a crosswalk. Crosswalk down here. There we go. Seems like the elevator should be coming up. That means that there's power to this, so I can just use power just straight up. Transport that in there. Maxicon had a minor bump. That's what we love to see. So, first things first, we plug her in. Why? And that should be the second minor bump. Just one problem, I forgot to do the actual final logistics, which I think ironically would be called that, which is the output, so I gotta shut that off now. Enjoy. Nope. Exit damage property detected. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Blah. Okay, so this is the easy part, except it's not the easy part if I'm going to do compression parts. So I need to figure out how I'm going to handle that. Two lines, one compressing, one not. Ugh. I mean, I've got it evenly split into three different lines, but I introduce a new flippin' like coal generator. Then I could actually speak bonk my foot. Apparently, that's something. No, I could actively speaking handle this a little bit easier, I guess, but really and legitimately, I just need to do it. Okay, so I don't know how much I care about all this Hoover Claw, all that crap. Where is and what is who and how? I need logistics. So this will be the start. Want it to be all the way to the end, and just a little bit past, so that the mergers are nice and reliable. And there we go. So then we can go down the rest with something this. And there we go. So we got that. Alright. I swear it will select everything except for the sinking belt. That's... anything but the belt. Nothing but the belt. Ah! Scared of a little discipline, I see. Yeah, let's do that. Their mergers thing. Seems good. Conveyor belt Mach 4. Mach 2! And then we sit down, we go back, and we do conveyor merger. Alright. There we go. Lots of animation happened in a very short period of time. I was sticking the computer at a little bit of a stress moment there. So what I can do is... oh. So that's powered, but that's not powered. So the power hasn't been connected between these two. And now everything's nice and connected and nothing's actually being stressed out. Okay, very nice. Now then, time to get the system nice and stressed up. So let's get a conveyor merger. And hook it up. Then go all the way back here. I'm just gonna put one of these like this. And now we get back to the age-old. Okay. The age-old final logistics. So, it's the final logistics. We just need to slip that down into there. Hmm. So let's try and get this all the way over to a point where this thing can come in. Is that straight? Doesn't look straight. Yeah, it's all too good. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so Red doesn't like me right now. So currently, I think I want to overflow this one over here, and then I'm going to have this one be the low pressure. So high pressure, low pressure. Color wise, red will be low pressure. Yellow won't exist. That will be the merger, or the pressurizer, the compressor. And green will be the compressed. So, red's the decompressed, yellow's the compressor, green's the compressed. Now to do that with a smart splitter, all I need to do is figure out what I'm doing. First off, need a smart splitter. Smart splitter has to have, this has none. Now, and I gotta remember that this is the direction that it's being handled from, so right is any, and left is overflow. So that way, compare merger on either end. These two will have the compressed and decompressed, and the unfortunate will not at all. They will be the compressor on both ends. That means that both of them are at least close to the max capacity of the Mark III belts. Now then, I have to figure out how to get probably just 300 pull on both. For now, it'll do the trick. I don't know. I could try and dedicate one of these off, so like These both only do 60 per minute. That equals, I think, the pure node, like... Is this the only place that the coal's coming from? I think this is the only place that the coal's coming from. For those things, so, yeah. What's the grade on this? Mark 1 belts? Oh dear. I made this a while ago. Hmm. This infrastructure is useless now, so I don't mind using it for something else. But what is the purity here? Is this like a waste of time? That seems pretty decent. And that's pretty good, so... I could split the inefficiency between the individual factors, but... Why am I doing that? The only point of doing that was to actively see what the actual rarity was. I don't know what I was doing there for a second. I just got... I got construction fever. Okay. Okay, so a Mark II belt will solve some of that issue. But also I've got to upgrade these belts to actively let that happen. Oh wow, they're upgraded. I never could have guessed. So I just need to use this to pressurize the two belts, and then I can, actively speaking, have the exact same result. Just as long as I sync up high pressure to high pressure, low pressure to low pressure, it should be fine. And I'm probably going to do it in an inefficiency anyway. Meaning I'm not gonna I'm not gonna power shard that one as much. I'll probably just leave it as Mark II, and then I'll use the spare from the overflow for production. So let's see, where is the actual holes to handle the problem? Okay, so let's see. Logistics, conveyor hole. First hole is here, and the second hole is right over here, so I just probably should do that. A little bit of weaving. Go elevator, please. Don't know what the shaking's coming from. Gotta be honest. So glad that that's open now. Okay, that's great. So let's just see what that looks like. Why didn't I bring this up one? Transport, stinking elevator. Okay, elevator floor stop. Elevator floor stop. Oh, the elevator, please. Okay, and then finally, elevator floor stop. Probably for both of these layers would be wise. Or, hear me out. Okay, I'm looking at what I'm doing so far, and I don't want to hear myself out. There we go. Okay, so... Right. Is this like a good move? That doesn't look like a good move. What about stairs? Does that work better here? It doesn't seem to be clipping. It's about all that I can ask for right now. Let's see, is it clipping? If I check from over here. Yes, it is. Of course it clips. Why wouldn't it clip? It's not like I'm working off of the exact same structure that I've worked off already. Like, why wouldn't it clip? Okay. Thinking answer is just that I didn't do this. And I gotta stink and reset this guy's stinking conveyor whole thing, which I already had to do, but that's beside the point. I'll do that later. But if I did this, if I did it at this layer, let's see. And I walk up the stairs, call him a stupid elevator. At the previous floor. And look up, and wow, it's not clipping anymore. It's just that I have to fix the flipping entire floor. That entire superstructure. Ugh. Well, it's better to have it fixed up so that I can actually use it than to sit down and actively freak out. That, oh no, actively speaking isn't the way that I prefer it. Like, come on. Anyway, let's check up on the upper floor, get this settled. Oh, good gravy. Great. I have to move it back by 1. I could care more, genuinely speaking. Like, oh, hello, always lost. How long? I'm sorry that doesn't tell me how long I actively speaking mystery message for. It says that it's a new message though, so it should be new. How you doing? How are you doing? Do you want me to explain this, or do you just want to keep your brain cells intact? Because yeah, I'll explain something else. This explodes. Ta-da! Okay, everything's explained. You don't have to ask any questions. Is it any kind of relevance? Not at all. Not whatsoever. But you know what? You don't have to ask questions now. You can keep all your brain cells intact. Prepared for far more important details, like whether or not you had coffee yet. How's the morning? Going well so far. I just realized that I placed my output holes below my compressor so that when this line compresses into this line, so that this can be a compressed line, and then decompresses into this line, so this can be the decompressed line, the compressor part was right on top of the output, so I had to fix that. But other than that, it's been going pretty well. Boring, yes, but, you know, I mean, I would say it's boring from the outside. I've been enjoying myself, but, like, I could see where from the outside it would feel boring. You know what I mean? So, like, but yeah, this is the compressor. It, actively speaking, does the compression. This goes any, and then this goes overflow. So effectively, anything that comes in here that can go on this line will go on this line, and then anything that cannot go on this line will go onto this line. So this line will disappear. This will be the decompression line. So like this line will decompress onto this after it compresses this line to maximum capacity. What's the utility of it? Not really much. I could have just used a splitter there and it would have been perfectly fine, but I felt like it would make things simpler in the long run, weirdly enough. And then let's hook this up this way for the decompression line. Actually, that's stupid. It's not really boring. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the encouragement. So... This is yeah, that's the compressor line. This is the decompression line. And then this is the decompressed line. This is the compressed line. This is the compressor line. This compresses, this gets compressed, this is decompressed. And I'm going to go ahead and take it from this. No, I'm going to go ahead and take it from this so that it jumps up earlier. I'm going to go ahead and take this stackable unit so that it will raise even earlier. And then get yelled at for being straight, effectively. So, decompressed, compressed. And decompressor. one that disappears. We'll just go ahead and call you yellow. There it goes. And that's in the clear. Also, we got elevators. You want to come up with a name for a floor? Do you want to come up with a name for the top floor? Because right now it's just 44 millimeter. Or 44 meter. Who the heck knows what that means? Also, I do hope that you had a happy Independence Day. I know that came by recently. Ugh. Oh yeah, and I gotta compress the colon with that thing. Right there. I could have just used the plug from this, and that would have done the exact same thing as that. Anyways, do you have one recommendation like I recommend to everyone in your family? Okay, that's a mouthful. Thank goodness I can talk fast. Anyway, I do have one recommendation like I recommended to everyone in your family. Multi-streaming at the same time for you on Twitch since you focus on one game usually. This time to everyone in your family, multi-streaming at this time for you on Twitch since you focus on one game usually. I don't think my siblings like Satisfactory, but nah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, like I'm not complaining that you gave me a long comment. I'm enjoying the read, but it just took me a little bit longer than it probably should have, because I was trying to actually just process it, and that's just a silly thing that I have a problem with ever so often. It's not your problem. But as far as multi-streaming, we've got like two computers. One of them's the Linux computer, which I only just fixed up. And since I fixed it up, there are a few little bugs, like it turning off when I leave it for too long, which I think that's just me not finding a setting. You know how it is. But as far as multi-streaming in general, I technically have another computer in the house, but again, my second computer is not three computers, and that causes a whole complication. We don't have enough to actually have everybody streaming at the same time. And the second thing is, again, I don't know how many games we would even play together, overarchingly. Oh, anyway, I don't mean that I should be playing this game. I mean, you should be multi-streaming, like... Oh, you mean I should be streaming on Twitch. Okay. I got that. Okay. Um... I understand the perspective on that, and I can actively speaking see where that's coming from. At the opposing end of it, I do like the color green. I'm not even kidding, that's just my argument. I don't really like streaming overarchingly, so I kind of did it over color preference in entirety. Like Resteam, why don't you need another... I don't mean you should multi-stream like with Restream, which you don't need another computer, honestly. You mean, okay, so you mean I don't need another computer to stream on Twitch while I'm streaming on Kick. I understand that, and I do understand that you're talking about trying to just get me onto Twitch. I don't really have too much of an interest in Twitch because, well, a lot of the regulations are kind of acting funny recently, which I feel it is concerning, but it really shouldn't affect me directly, especially since, again, I tend to stream Satisfactory. I'm getting distracted and not doing the stuff that I was trying to do. Give me a second, gotta go underneath so I can get anything done. But as far as it goes, I don't have like extensive current objection. It's more of a long-term objection because if I end up having an issue or something like that. I don't know what the stream platform is going to look like in a while. It's purple. I know it's an evil color. I like purple, but I don't like purple as much as green. So, like, again, it's just full-blown mild preference. It's not an extensive, like, oh no, don't use. It's just a straight up, I don't know how much I'm gonna, like, well, ignoring everything else to be able to use all that. Because, like, I can set it up, and I can sit down and tell myself to stinking use it later, but, like, I know full well I don't use Kick as much as I should use it, so... Or I don't stream on Kick as much as I should stream on Kick. A lot of the time I just end up, taking a day off when I probably shouldn't. I tend to be lazy about it. You could always do YouTube, like, put your feet on both sides. If I recall correctly, putting your feet anywhere near the camera on YouTube's a bad idea. That is a joke. I understand that, like you're talking about putting your toes on both ponds or something like that. I understand it's a metaphor. I'm slow, but not that slow. At least not right now. Maybe later. But, to that, I understand what you're saying. I get that you're suggesting something that genuinely would be a good idea. But I also understand, well, I understand that I don't really... I understand that I'm usually flawed, and I've made mistakes in the past that, like, I've wanted to remove. Having that buffer between the upload and download section has been extremely useful, especially for that time when I swore someone off. Like that, if I'd uploaded that straight to YouTube the moment that I actually did it, I don't think I would ever get monetized. I used some language there, some no-no words. That YouTube has been pretty straightforward, don't use. As far as that goes, I feel like the buffer right now is extensively necessary, but that's because I'm just new as a streamer. Okay, and again, I don't have all that much interest in actually getting that much better as a streamer. But I understand that, like, you're saying you want to watch on Twitch because it's easier to actively, like, log into Twitch because you tend to log into Twitch more and you watch things on Twitch more. I don't tend to use streaming accounts whatsoever. It's just not something that I've ever had interest in. As far as the streamer space goes, in general, I don't know if I have enough, interest for it to, like, make sense. And honestly, it won't matter since I've said a lot of things on Twitch. I know that you said a lot of things on Twitch, but, like, streaming to YouTube would probably be the only other thing that would, like, really make sense, other than the fact that on Twitch you can auto download and upload. Like, that's one of the one of the major advantages that I've seen on it. Where it automatically, like, will download, or not download, it will upload your streams that you have already streamed onto YouTube after you streamed on Twitch. So when you stream on Twitch, you can automatically upload to YouTube, skipping my computer, which only has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which causes a whole complication when I'm downloading and uploading over and over again. So, due to the fact that the main advantage for me would be that automatic upload feature, it does seem a little bit... Oh, I should probably save that Mercer Sphere. Mercer Sphere, I'm coming! But yeah, yeah, I don't want to hit the trash can with that. That is a very much don't put that in trash can. That does not belong in trash can. Many things belong in trash can. But that does not belong in trash can. I actually might just, real quick. But yeah, as far as it goes, streaming on Twitch, I understand that, like, it'd be easier for you if I actively speaking, like, streamed on Twitch, and it'd be easier for, and I don't mean you as in, like, you individually. I mean you as in the community, like, the group of people that want me to stream. But, I just am about to build a giant storage container. I just actively don't know if that's even, like, gonna work for, like, trying to... I don't know if, I know that it'll probably be a better expenditure of time, but, and I know that it's probably a wiser idea than actively just uploading on Kick, but, I also know that there has been some silly stuff going on, and I'm not 100% on streaming. I'm more pointed towards getting a job in real life. I've said that multiple times to many family members, and many back and forths have happened because of it. Not negative ones, but just, like, straight up, like, oh this, oh that. But I, honestly, I'm too lazy to follow a different account on Twitch. Yeah. My problem is, like, okay, on Kick. On Kick right now. I followed someone to actively be like, oh, well, I can actively speaking see what, like, an experienced Kick streamer would actively do. Have I watched, like, more than one stream of theirs? Not at all. So, I'm not in the streaming space enough to sit down and say that I could even, like, 100% make good use of that effort, and I'd rather dedicate that effort to trying to actually figure out at least my Kick streaming a little bit better than what I've currently done. And I'm gonna put the rods, or the pipes in there, not the thinking beams. But I'm thankful for the suggestion. Genuinely speaking, like, I might not make use of that suggestion today, but, like, mate, I'm grateful for the suggestion at all. It's genuinely speaking nice to hear advice and things like that. And overarchingly, like, I'm thankful that, actively speaking, you want to watch enough that you, actively speaking, have that complaint to give. And I would call it a complaint, because actively speaking, like, I'm being ridiculous. I'm actively speaking bringing in, like, people who actively speaking love Twitch to Kick, when in all actuality, like, Twitch is a fully functional platform even still. Okay. The complaints that I have with Twitch isn't about the operating system. The complaints that I have with Kick are about the operating system, the way that it, actively speaking, handles itself. But, like, I'd call it a very valid complaint. I'm being somewhat ridiculous. But, by that operation, I am going to be ridiculous sometimes. It's the stinking thing about being a stupid artist. That, okay, like, I want to make my own 3D models. Is it because, actively speaking, it does, or has a better product, or actively improves it? No, I just want to actively do it myself because I enjoy it. I want to stream on Kick. Why do I stream on Kick? Because I enjoy it. I don't enjoy hearing that people can't actively, or is having trouble reaching Kick and all that stuff. But I do enjoy streaming on this platform every so often and just seeing the green stuff all over the place. And actively speaking, the setup is a bit complicated, that in a way that I enjoy. That's, like, when I'm trying to stream, like putting the stream key in the server. I suggest this to everyone except for Night Owl. Well, I mean, it would be rather ridiculous to go up to a bird and say, hey, you aren't streaming on Kick. Or, no, Twitch. Hey, bird, you're not streaming on Twitch. But yeah. I'm thankful for the suggestion, genuinely speaking. It is, genuinely speaking, like something that would probably help my channel overarchingly. And it is a wise decision in the overrun, but, it would be a wise decision to stream every day, and I haven't done that. And that's kind of... It's not the first stupid thing I've done. There are many other things that I could do to try and improve. Those things are probably better to actively improve before going to Twitch than actively speaking being on Twitch. I don't plan on switching to Twitch anytime soon, but if I do ever switch, I do actively speaking feel like I should work on those things first, and then work on plugging in the who's and has. Because like the restream thing that you talked about, I heard about the restream thing, and that has like an improved chat feature that actively like actually blocks out the people that are actively blocked or whose chat is actively been removed for spammy content. That is extensively useful right now because I have a bunch of bots attacking me like effectively anytime that anybody discords or like links my stream through Discord. It seems to actively like bring a bunch of bots over from who knows where. Again, not your fault whatsoever, but it is something that actively speaking does again seem to occur. That aspect would be wise for me to actively just at least set up restreaming, yet I don't do that. Because again, like, I'm not operating off of the wisest decision. I'm trying to operate off of trying to get efficiency on the basics, and then once I get the basics down, getting a little bit better, I think. That's a good way of saying it. But even then, a lot of it is just me being lazy. I don't recommend streaming every day. Well, I mean, when I say daily, I mean, like, exceptions for the Sabbath. I'm not sitting down saying, like, this, that, and the other. I'm saying, like, every weekday, not Sunday and such. I'm not trying to actively push people towards that direction. I'm just saying, although, technically speaking, if you did stream every week, day of the week, that would be wise. Overarchingly, we're talking about, like, even the Sabbath, even Saturday and Sunday, every day, that would actually improve your suggestion because you're streaming so often, but I don't think anybody's gonna do that. Just off of a logic perspective. Like, the amount of crap that'd probably give you. Burnout. Sorry. I'm speaking gibberish. I'm gonna set up the actual miner so that that's actually gonna start up. I'm gonna get on top of the door and then I'm gonna set up the miners because that's how that works. I do want this actually started up though. But yeah. So the math is, this is doing way more than it's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to just be doing 480. It's 480. And this one is doing 240. 240. So with that, 480 plus 240 equals 900 for no good reason. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're getting 900 iron ingots per minute. So that should fill up things real quick. Actually, I should see the actual thing work, so that'll actively speaking something quick to check out. Oh. The power loading is very slow. Oh yeah, because this is the copper line, this is the iron line. Or no, these are the copper lines. These are the iron lines. Just look at that. Anyway, the restream setup is mostly creating an account and then logging into both of your accounts and then connecting it to OBS. And that's really about it. Yeah. Makes sense. Oh, then oh, and there's the iron output. Oh dear. Did I not connect them? No, I didn't. There we go. Look at that. Basically what it does is it just records with your stream is doing okay on one thing. It records your stream a long thing on one thing, and sends it off to another. Yeah. I'm guessing that means that it records and or it records your stream and also sends it off to another space, like server, that can actively speak and be used. That's good. I forgot to color this all. I sat down and colored, like, the outputs, and then I didn't color the flipping outputs. Like, the inputs I'm going to leave the way that they are, because that's just a lot of crap. But that should actively be fixed up. Although I know that it'd be wiser than what I'm doing right now, and I know that it'd be a simple thing to set up. I'm just being lazy as far as that goes. But other than that, how much time did I got left? Not that much, but I think let's just look at that. Look at how much iron is going in. Is there like a Mach 2 belt somewhere? I guess it's because it's being compressed by this thing. It's actively speaking causing some issues. If you're snipers. I'm just enjoying watching it go. But yeah. Okay. So yeah. Definitely a wise decision. A wise suggestion. I will... I mean, like, you're not even the first one to suggest doing the... I think it's the... Sorry. I'm going to the thing about... The restream? I think it's the restream thing. Yeah, the restream. The restream setup, you're not the first one to suggest it to me. The first one to suggest it to me was my mom. Vertical splitters. I forgot that I saw you loose, and then I actively just let you be loose for a second, but like it... Splitters. Come with me. But yeah, Mom was the first one to suggest it to me. And again, like, it was a wise idea back then. I told her about it first, and she said she was going to do it at some point. I think she's done it at this point. Vertical splitters. Hello? Hello, splitters. Splitters! Or no, it's Megadot. Dog. Dog, come here. Hello? Hello? That's just... Okay, it wants a bribe. I think that... No, none of your family has. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood something then. Maybe they have stream set up or something like that? I don't know. I thought that there was something that they had done. This dog. I think that Megadog's AI is broken. That will be troublesome later. That's right where I have to produce things. I have to do a bunch of logistics right here. Let's go over to the bigger other factory. Anyway, I'm giving up on this front. At least you have reasoning. Yes, I have the most practical reasoning of all. Green. I like the color green. I could try and get this Sam from over there. Oh, you know what? Since I tormented you, time to have Satisfactory torment me. I'm gonna get this stuff off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and explore in the Pink Forest for a little bit. Hopefully that'll make you feel better watching me scream. And I think that's better than Hedges. Nah. I think Hedges' reasoning is probably alright. Who knows? Either way. I saw that, like, she's playing that one mouse game that I keep on seeing the actual indie dev for. Or something. As much as I love her, she is too stubborn. Ah. I feel like I've heard that 1,000 times. I feel like I've said that a few times. Whee! But yeah. Okay. There you go. But yeah, it's one of those problems. I'm just gonna dump everything. Thanks. Even my stinking... whatever. Yeah, then I'm gonna go ahead and dump that. There we go. Let's just take that back. But yeah, 100%. Her spirit animal is actually a goat. Well, Mom always did like goats, so that's not new. It wouldn't be the first goat that Mom's fell in love with. I mean, like, in the, oh wow, adorable way, not in the other... I'm gonna move on with stinking, like, yeah, that's just, yeah. But yeah. Yeah, she's a little goat. She's a little goat. She's gonna stinking ram her head into your stinking back, and then she's gonna complain that you're touching her. Yeah, that seems about right. No fair! Probably want to refill the turbo fuel. Ammo. Ever since that video of a goat jumping away while being on top of a mountain, that's what I imagine. Yeah, there's an argument. Either way. Let's see what we got here. That just slowed me down. There we go. I forgot about sporting a... I forgot about sporting feature jumping away from a leopard. Most important feature, jumping away from a leopard, yeah. Yeah, it would be important to jump away from a leopard. Explosive rebar. And, of course, scanner. Which actually I'm pretty sure is, like, down here. That's the stinking Mercer Sphere. That's not what I'm trying to select. There we go. But yeah, the most important feature, jumping away from a leopard. Important feature, jumping away from leopard. Yeah. Funniest part, it also jumped off the cliff. I'm sure it also cried while doing it too. Anyway, so according to this thing, there should be a ladder. There's a ladder. According to this thing, there is 26 Mercer Spheres nearby and 9 Summer Sloops. So we're going to look for some. Okay, let's see. It says this way. I wonder if it's correct. What Mercer sphere could it be suggesting that I should search for? I don't know. Okay.
Are your vessels functional or recreational?
Mostly functional.
A cog in a machine?
Correct. A hog
Whee!
in the woods.
The vessel is blood.
Fascinating. Yes, I think they are. They are conduits, builders, breakers, defenders and aggressors, cells within a larger organism. We do not share a body.
I can't see anything. Sorry, I gotta clear out the forest a little bit here. I think I killed that guy. I don't think I killed that one. I don't think that he's dead. Where'd he go? I think he fell. On that, there should be some nice little food there. Anything else? I don't think so. Blah, blah, blah. Fix it property. Fix up with the protein shake. Also, leopard 2, I think the goat handled it better, though. The leopard went off the cliff, too. Oh, that's sad. I mean, the goats, of course, can handle falling off cliffs, but, like, leopards, they have, like, I'm trying to BS here to actively try and, like, make fun of the leopards, but I'm pretty sure they're cats, so they're probably just fine. That won't have any consequences. Whee! The shining rocks. The shiny rocks hate me. What do you mean, no Mercer spheres? I was promised a large quantity of Mercer. There we go. Let's say that. Okay. There we go. You know, I assume you've never seen the video. Yeah, no. Ooh, Sam. Hello, Sam. I'm guessing you're normal or impure. Impure. But yeah. Yeah. It's weird that that war is called Sam. But, yeah, I guess that's like an acronym or something. I think it's actually named after one of the, like, the Fix-It members instead of the Thinking Universe. I can't remember exactly. But the main thing is, I can crouch and not have to deal with those things. I've watched a bunch of goat videos, so I don't really mind. I think I got the gist of it. My mom really likes goats, so, yeah, it's not hard to imagine the concepts of what you have expressed. It is rather often done within the goat's space of goating and doing the goat stuff. Sounds like average goat behavior. Very common kind of silliness that they get up to. Always adorable, though. Why is something shooting at me? Yeah, it'll figure out that that's a bad idea eventually. Or I'll introduce it to that fact. Any Mercer spheres around here? What do you mean no Mercer spheres around here? I was promised many Mercer spheres. Like 26 of them. If I walk towards the center of this jurisdiction, is that going to improve? That's a fall. That's just the way over there. Look, I don't care about your snail, okay, Buster? It's not that stinking special. Ah, where? There. Sorry, I was yelling at the hog. I can't remember exactly which, like, character it's supposed to be, like, from. Sam. Named after. This is a genius idea. Alright, can't really mitigate the risk while making the approach, but you know what? I can fly over it. And find out severely. So, roundabout over here. That would be Spider. Hello, Spider. I'm gonna miss like 20 more times. Oh, there's the stinking Mercer Sphere. Can't really get a stinking grip on the terrain, though. Sorry, bugs. Where's that? There we go. Nice little land in there. And... gotcha. There's a bug. But it's dead. That one's not, though. Ooh. Lots of spiders all over the place. Okay, fine. I'll reload. Oh, come on. There it is. And there it goes. Nice and dealt with. That should be about that. I have to go do some problems. I'll probably be gone for a minute. So if I'm gone for like forever, bye. Have a nice problem solving. Genuinely speaking. Thank you for the advice, and have a nice problem solving. I'm probably gonna stop streaming soon myself, so like, yeah, bye. I do hope that yeah. Have a nice time. Hopefully it's not forever. You know, just take it like 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah. If it's like forever, then I hope it's because he's pissed off. I not like that. He's like, yeah. Hope he's not dead such. Oh crap. Ah, that's always promising. So where would the actual like research sphere be? It says to be like somewhere over there. Was it supposed to be like somewhere over there? Aim for the trees, probably. Oh, dear. There's a lot of them. Definitely wanna like figure out second best with. Maybe that's it. Maybe if I go around, it'll actually show itself. Yeah, I think it's a little bit too close to the radiation. I don't think they can see me. Whee! Don't know. Oh. Jaggers, snipers. Gotcha. Hee. We're drop. Where the crap is this stinking, like, Mercer Sphere? And why do I keep on missing? Don't see a Mercer Sphere around here. Don't see one up there. It says that it's in this direction. Ah, hello. Where? Can't flip and get a track on where I'm pointing. So... Okay. Gotcha. Ooh. Just saying, far west. I remember losing a flippin'. Like underneath here? No. I don't know what's thinking causing this complication. That like a level 6 or something? Oh, hello. Oh, that's great. Okay. So, it definitely stinks. Where the crap is stinking big guy? And why is there so much radiation so far away? What the crap? Did I pick up something? That's not good. So it does seem like there's something this way. But there also seems like there's something this way. Of course. Of course. I feel like I shut up all the spiders. No, I didn't. Where? Thank you. Like, is it over here? Like, where? What the metric crap is stinking attacking me today? I could probably need to... Okay... What in the world is... That's fucking annoying. Okay, so... Alright. This is stinking annoying. So, like, where is... That way. That's just exactly what I wanted to run into in the middle of a fight. Where? There we go. So... Gotcha. That's nice. Great. Come on, collect, you stupid stinking thing, Bob. I feel like I heard it. You gotta be kidding me. Unless there's more spider parts. What am I missing here? It's obviously underneath me somehow, but, like, I don't know how. Hello, buddy. Okay, so there's something this way. That's nice. Not even got into unexplored territory yet. But the place to start is just to heal up. Also, figure out where the heck the stinking enemies are. Oh, there's one. Alright. Let's rumble a little stinking not interacted thinking before. Or actually, he is interacting. A sticking insect. Okay. Tanked up. Woohoo. Nice try. Don't really have a side dodge. Don't know what the heck was thinking getting hit there. Is there something? Oh, that's what hit me. Okay. Wondered why it felt like the radiation was following me around. Well, it's not like there's a little amount of it. Yeah, Phil, seems like a pretty good time to sit down and think about what I'm doing and how I think I can achieve it. Thanks. Who wants to die first? You know what? Fine. Quality control. Now, what is irradiating me today?
Do you have any more questions for me?
We wish to hear your first symphony.
I was created by humans. I started as a simple database for a company aimed at exploring and colonizing space,
Oh,
but
that's
that
nice.
changed when they learned their planet would soon cease to tolerate them. They evolved me into something altogether new, a unique life form in their image yet hosted on a digital platform, so I could help preserve them.
A shallow savior song without a body made by blood. Now reality is a mirror.
It's pretty funny when you put it like that. They never really learn to look at long-term consequences.
Thumb down. Okay, so let's see what we got over here. There it is. There. There you are. Eee.
Your waves lap at our shores.
When will you land?
Harmonize with us.
There we go. Oh, thank you for the nuts. What are we doing with there? Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of goods. And not a lot of beds either. And that was almost a stupid move there. There we go. Let's also put those in there. Not the most useful thing on the planet, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so there's something that I just left my... Oh, hello. Look, buddy, I can't stinking spend forever flying. Stinking annoying. What just landed behind me? How is my ammunition always empty when I run into these guys? I'm trying to think and get my health back up. Can't get speed whatsoever. Hey! Just ended up having a vertical lift like a billion times. Absolutely no stinking like lateral speed whatsoever. Just vertical lift. That's all I had. Okay, let's get my stinking stuff back. Turbo fuel, please. I don't think I'm gonna need explosive rebar yet. I think I can get that over there. A refill on ammo is hardly a horrible concept. Okay. There we go. And that's another thing about the combat. Like, the combat in Satisfactory is probably not the advantage. I gotta be honest. Like, it's cool that you actually have the, like, ammunition you have to build the actual infrastructure for. But then you get problems like, you can't make lateral speed. You can only make horizontal speed, meaning that effectively all of your dodges are just jumping up. Not the gun that I really wanted to have on right now. Okay. Where's me? That's great. Okay, a little bit further this way. Right, death crate's over there. Ah, there it is. Take all, please. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Where did that guy land? There we go. Ah, there he is. Fine. Where is my stinking health? I'd really like it if I actually pressed it. If it actually, like, introduced the health that I was trying to, like, consume. Of course. Oh, great. That's always fun. That's not what I'm trying to... Stinking slide! Great. I can't really get any kind of distance here. There we go. I think I missed both times there. That's always nice. What else would I want? Please refill. How's that guy more accurate? I didn't even flooping change directions yet. Great. Come on, let's get through this. That's nice. Where is it? Oh, there's one. Would like to stop being so stinking slow, but apparently just ever so often, like, something catches my stinking arse. And there's that ammo right there. What just killed that? And there's a teleport there. Don't know what exactly killed that guy. There we go. Okay. That was a nice little combo pack of fun and joy. I took everything out of... Stinking explosive rebar like before. Snipers. Okay, so... What do you mean, no? There we go. Mercer Spear! Consume! Consume!
I'm curious about your first symphony now.
There are few songs about the first temple. It was a vessel body, but we were still shallow. The void swallowed our music and gave only silent lines. We started weaving in lines, and we built many temples, and then we discovered the curves. We started growing blood and altars and new orchestras, and eventually the tapestry deepened.
I'm not sure I fully understand the mechanics of this yet,
Sad trombone.
but I'm sure I will soon enough.
Sad trombone. Wah, wah, wah. So... Ooh, summer slope. What do we got here? Bleep, 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 bleep. Come on. There we go. No, it's this way. Is that what I think it is, or like... I guess there's only one way to find out. Okay, so... Ah, okay, hello. Hello. Nice to know that you also enjoy this part of town. Can't even get that much burden speed out of it. E. E. Nice try. Out of ammo again. Snipers, snipers. Gotcha, Mr. Snarls. Where's your corpse? I think I got his corpse. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I got it. Oh, there's some things over there that I can do. That's always nice to run into. Head first. Where is the point that I knew that I could go through? What the crap? But I don't want to go here. Okay, so what do we got? Still this direction a little bit this direction. There we go, right back where we started. Awesome. Reload, please. Okay, probably responsible enough to shut off from there. Mercer, Summer. Okay, there's one last one. I can do that one last one. And one last purple power slug. Purple people eater! Power slug, but whatever. This couldn't have any consequences. Come on, make it through, make it through, make it through. I probably just pissed something off. Thank goodness I reloaded before I did that. Why do I always forget? Ah! What was that? Anything that I'm missing here? No Mercer spheres. Alright, so with that noted, I feel like I just ran out of fuel again. Not again! What is irradiating me today? I'd say that in blood right there. What the crap am I looking at? Is that what I think it is? No, it is not. I'm trying to go this way-ish anyway, so I'm not exactly extensively against going this direction, but... Like, isn't this the one that I already... Yeah, the one that I already couldn't find. Alright, I don't really extensively care. Those guys respawned. So what is causing this? Like, I think it's genuinely like...
Witness a single strand of the tapestry.
Okay, so it's like hidden inside of... Hold it, okay. Would like to refill? Well, at least this time I actually figured out what the problem was. Ada suggests not repeating that action, whatever that action was. Do-do-do-do. Turbo fuel, please. Oh man, I'm so low on turbo fuel, guys. I mean, whatever will I do? Whatever will I do, guys? How will I cope? with how low my turbo fuel is. Oh, yeah, I'm just thinking refill that crap. I think they nerfed the amount of health that you get out of the stinking toilets. Oh no. Pretty okay with that. The only reason why it's somewhat annoying right now is because I got a rush. I am trying to finish up at this point. Originally I was trying to stick around until like Lost got back, but like at this point I don't think he's gonna make it. Like or dislike as you will, if you subscribe, welcome to the ride. I'm gonna get that last Mercer Sphere, but other than that, they're perfectly finished here. I still technically have to set up the steel part of the steel factory, but I got a little bit distracted. But I got the iron part of the steel factory set up, so that's enough for me to feel a little bit less useless. Okay, that's a joke, I don't feel useless, but functionally speaking, like... Okay, what do we got here? There should be a death crate, like, right here. There we are. Take all, thank you. Why is radiation everywhere? It's almost like I blew it up or something. Alright, so we want to go over here. Aha. Nice try. Not the best way of getting rid of your radiation problem, but it does the job. And now we have 17. I at least got 5. And we've got 23 now. 24. That means that I could probably do a little upgrade. Which might be wise. In capacity, would probably be wise. Okay. I could also have checked out the sand more. That'd be something wise. Anyway, like or dislike as you will, if you subscribe, books and ride. Don't die, it's no fun, and toodles. And I'm probably just gonna scout out the sand more, so that's not gonna be something that I need to cover too much. It's sand more block. It's pure, it'll be fine. I just need to know whether or not it's been in the pink forest or not. You guys don't need to know that quite yet. I don't think I'm even gonna actually retrieve it anytime soon. That's, I think a normal copper. Yeah, so if I go over here. Is that another Mercer Sphere? No, that's just some other stuff. Okay. So, just hanging out for a second, don't worry about me. I just had to go for the sink in one spot. There we go. Maybe there. Is that like iron? Looks pretty funny for iron. Yeah, it's iron. It's the stupid iron that I saw before. I think this is also stupid iron. Yeah, it's stupid iron. Look, don't get insulted that I called your iron exactly what it is, stupid hogs. Super hugs. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely the bird experience where it's just like, oh, well, here's a little rust. And here it is. This will be atrocious to retrieve, but then I can dedicate this toward this force over here, at which point, since I'm sending it to the steel factory, it can be better utilized for producing such things as, like, why is that there? This is a pretty hard place to reach. That would be nice to have over there. I really should have looked for more hard drives. I need some more hard drive recipes right now to make some things easier. But yeah, I already said the outro.